In today's lab, we will cover the following topics: using data tables, calculating errors, plotting data, extrapolating from fits, setting up the motion sensor, and recording and analyzing data on the computer. In this lab, we will take the example of the number of students in Physics 103 over time. First, we fill in our data table with the year, the number of students, and the error in counting these students. Next, we calculate the error. The error is the percent error times the value. If in this case our error is plus or minus 2%, then in 2004, when we had 404 students, our error is roughly plus or minus 8 students. Now we will plot the data. First, we must choose a scale for our x and y axes. For the x-axis, we will plot the year, and the y-axis will be the number of students. The y-axis scale will start at 0 and scale up to 650 students, while the x-axis will start in 2004 and go till 2014. Next, we must label our axes. Be sure to add labels to both your x and y axes and to title your graph. Now it's time to plot our points. Next, we add our error bars that we calculated earlier. Finally, we add a best fit line. In this case, we choose a linear fit to represent the linear trend shown in this graph. When we plot data on the computer, we can obtain an equation for this best fit line. We can use this equation to make predictions about the class size of Physics 103 in the future. Let's calculate the expected number of students in Physics 103 next year. Using the best fit line equation, we can plug in the year as 2014 and obtain an expected value of 614 students with an error of roughly plus or minus 12 students. Now we will move on to a demonstration of the laboratory equipment. Connect the white end of the cable to the motion sensor and the yellow and black ends to channels 1 and 2 of the Pasco interface. Once the cables are connected, turn the power on the power strip and on the Pasco interface. You can adjust the beam width of the motion sensor by selecting either the narrow setting or the wide setting shown here. Now that the motion sensor is on and connected, we can set up an experiment using Data Studio. First, select Create Experiment and then choose Channel 1 of the Pasco interface. Select the motion sensor as your instrument. Next, we will calibrate the motion sensor. Click the Motion Sensor tab. You will hear the sound pulses being emitted by the motion sensor. To determine the distance to an object in the beamline, the motion sensor then records the echoes back. This mechanism is called echolocation and is the same principle that bats use to hunt their prey at night. To calibrate the motion sensor, move the motion sensor 1 meter from some object such as the wall. Then select Set Sensor Distance as Standard Distance. You are now ready to take data. Once you have collected your data, you can export it to a text file. Select File, Export Data, and then choose the run you would like to export. Be sure to save your file on the desktop so you can access it later in Excel. Now we will import our data to Excel. Open the Data tab and select Get External Data from Text. Choose the file you saved on the desktop to import, and follow the instructions in the Text Import wizard to complete the import. To plot your data, select both columns of your dataset. Then go to Insert and choose the Scatter Plot option. To add a best fit line to your data, select any of your data points and right-click, and then choose the option Add Trend Line. From the Trend Line menu, select Linear Fit. Be sure to select Show Equation on Chart if you would like to see the equation for the best fit line.